I always found it interesting when I went on YouTube and I'd look up these videos that was talking about how to learn how to speed read, how to learn how to read a book in a week, learn how to read a book in a day, etc, etc. And while I do think there is a lot of benefits from learning to speed read, I don't think it's necessary for the majority of people, including myself. You know, some people will really benefit from speed reading and other people will just not benefit from it at all. So in today's video, I'm just going to talk about some different reasons why I don't think speed reading is necessary for the majority of people. So I know the first part is a little counterintuitive, but I feel like you need to know when and when not to speed read, because if you're someone who naturally reads faster, you're probably not going to think about this and you're just naturally a speed reader. But I think there is a difference when you are consciously trying to read faster. And I really don't think you need to read your fiction books any faster just because you can. Like, there's no point if you don't feel like you're gonna enjoy the story as much if you're trying to speed read it. But do I think there is some ways I think speed reading is a general good idea? Of course. If you're a college student, you're probably really gonna need to learn to speed read because you just need to get through more textbooks quicker and naturally. And I think it's much different to speed read a textbook in comparison to your fiction book where you're just enjoying a story and enjoying a character. And I do think certain books are definitely not meant to be speed read in general. Like, you should not be trying to speed read a classic literature, Shakespeare, just anything with a more complex, like more in-depth text, because it's just not meant to be speed read. You're supposed to read it slow and really take the information in a time. If there are some classics you probably can speed read a little bit, probably, and especially if you only read classic literature, maybe you can just naturally speed read it. But I really think when you are actively trying to speed read, you shouldn't speed read classic literature. Of course, is there just the person who just reads faster? Of course. And that's something completely different. And I also do think there are certain books I will naturally speed read. Just from someone who naturally is a slow as fuck reader, I definitely have certain books I just read really fast. For example, I'm currently reading the Shadow series and it's so easy for me to read, and it's so much easier for me to go through pages than comparison to any other book, really. It doesn't have to be a non-fiction or a fiction book. It's just like, because I'm already so intrigued with the story, I already know it, and the language is super easy for me to read. It will naturally just be faster for me to read. And also it depends on what time of day it is, because I will naturally read fast in the morning because I have more energy in the morning in comparison to if I'm reading in bed before bed. And I really do think speed reading is a very, very personal choice, and it's just not meant for every individual human being. Of course, some people will have to learn to speed read because of their degree or whatever the fuck they're doing with their life. And some people just want to learn it because they just want to read more books faster and they generally enjoy speed reading. Even though I don't think you have to learn to speed read, I still wanted to talk about a speed reading technique as a slow reader I personally use in my everyday life. And I'm 100% aware there is a ton of methods to learning how to speed read, but I really wanted to touch on this one subject that has actually worked for me personally, because yes, I could talk about other techniques that does work for other people, but I would much rather talk about the one that works for me as a slow reader and I think is the most easiest to learn. So I really think one of the most important things is how to train your eyes. The easiest thing you can do if you want to read a book faster just naturally is you're gonna read in the middle, and that's because your eyes, like, when you look straight ahead, you see what's straight ahead of you, but you can still see like the side vision. Of course, some people can't, but I'm talking about if you have normal vision, you can still see the text on the side, but you're reading in the middle. And usually like the ending of a sentence or on the next line is like when, what, etc, etc. So like the last word, you're just naturally gonna read out loud even though you're not looking at it. You're just gonna naturally read it out loud because your brain can follow it. So that's a really great technique to do. And one thing you can also do is you can use your finger as a guidance, and this won't work if you are a Kindle user, but I think you can still kind of do it on a Kindle as well if you are interested in it. So the way you do it is pretty much you just you just follow the finger on like the line. It's pretty straightforward. I'm not the biggest fan of this technique personally myself, but I do think it works well when I am reading a non-fiction book and I want to absorb the information quicker. I really enjoy it there, but I don't really enjoy it when I'm reading my fiction books personally. But the way the thing is with our eyes will naturally follow our finger. So a great thing I noticed is like if you take a finger and go like this, your eyes is just gonna follow in a smooth line, but if you try and move your eyes like this, it's not gonna follow as smoothly. So doing that finger is just gonna help you drag through the pages a lot quicker. And you know, since this is a how I don't believe in speed reading, it's okay to be a slow reader. I am personally a slow reader myself, and I'm never going to encourage people to try and speed read if they just generally don't want to do it. And I'm not gonna lie, when I'm trying to speed read, I'm putting a lot more effort into reading than it has to be for me personally. Do I think speed reading is a great thing? Absolutely. I think it's a wonderful thing to learn, but it's absolutely not necessary. If you want to learn to speed read, go ahead, but if you don't want to, that is completely fine as well. This video is really just talking about why I don't think speed reading is a must-have learning skill, and I really wanted to give a praise to all the slow readers out here, like including myself, because, you know, we don't get enough praise in my opinion. So really, there's just absolutely no shame in reading slow. There's absolutely no point in trying to read a book fast if you're just gonna miss half of the understanding and you're not gonna be able to understand it. Like, there's absolutely no point. You should read whatever you like, you should read it at whatever pace you want, and you should just enjoy books for what they are, because we all enjoy books for different reasons. So that's gonna be it for today's video, guys. I really hope you enjoyed that video. If you did, maybe you want to check out this other video I made about how you should get a Kindle. I really enjoyed that video, and I really think Kindles are such a game changer, especially if you're a slow reader or you really want to get started on reading. I think getting a Kindle is such a good investment. Even if you're not interested in reading that much, like, you can just buy non-fiction books on there if you want. If you enjoyed the video, please hit that like button, subscribe to the channel if you want to see more of my face, and comment down below where you followed the video. Please remember to be kind to yourself and others, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Bye!